What is up guys, welcome back to SP Vids. In this video I'm going to talk about 5 different things that I wish I would have known about this unit from the day that I bought it. So obviously getting this unit is a big learning curve because it's quite tricky to get your head around at first. And from the comments that I'm reading, a lot of you guys are still picking these up, which is awesome that you're all joining the gang. So I thought this would be useful for you guys if you're just picking this unit up. These are 5 things that I really wish, looking back, that I would have known from the start. So guys, as you know, England is about to go into another month lockdown because of COVID-19 and it sucks, but unfortunately this is the way that we're having to deal with it at the moment. So to try and soften the blow a little bit, I'm going to be dropping a discount code for my shop which will last all through this month. And obviously I know it's just England, but it's going to be for everyone to be able to get a hold of. I don't think I can do it by region, so it'll just have to be a blanket discount for everyone. So I'll be dropping a discount for you guys, and then if you're a member as well, you'll get an even bigger discount. So if there's anything you're looking to pick up in the store, now is the time to do it in the next sort of 4 weeks. If you do want to become a member of the channel and help support me monthly, just hit the join button below the videos, or apparently if you're on mobile there's no join button, so just look in the description and there's a link in there that you can look at what membership is all about. So yeah, let's get to these points about the SP. So the first one I want to talk about is samples. Now, when I started with this unit, I was sampling everything into it individually when I needed it, kind of on like a supply and demand kind of situation. So every time I needed a drum, I'd record it in. Every time I needed a snare, I'd record it in. Hi-hat, record it in. Samples, record it in. Everything I was recording in through the back. You don't want to be doing that over and over again every time you're trying to make beats. It becomes really, really tiresome having to do that. So my first piece of advice is to get drum sounds loaded in via the SD card and have them permanently on your machine. I usually have bank A reserved, and I'll have 4 hi-hats, 4 snares and 4 kicks. And I also did a video recently as well about sort of stacking sound, so you can have multiple kicks, multiple hi-hats, multiple snares all on one pad, and then you can have hundreds of samples basically stored in your SP unit. It just means you don't have to be recording in all the time, which can be boring, and as I said, it can be a bit tiresome as well. So yeah, I really wish I'd have thought of that from day one, is just having loads of samples ready to go so that beat making can be done very quickly. You probably will end up recording in samples. I don't tend to drop full tracks into this and then chop them up because the processor is a little bit on the slow side. It's fast for an SP unit, but it's nothing compared to being able to browse through the whole file on a DAW, for example. So I would probably still recommend recording in samples, but I would say drum sounds, get them all loaded in. Okay, so my second tip is about resampling. So when I started with this unit, I'd probably just make a beat, slap one effect on it and be like, that's it, I'm done. That's the only effects I can use. But if you really want to get unique sounds out of this box, you do have to keep resampling the samples and layering those effects. So you might start off with MFX 16, then you might layer a bit of compression, then you might put a bit of isolator on it. You really do have to put the time in going through those effects to get good unique sounds on this unit. So yeah, I think that's one of the traps I fell into when I first got this unit. It was just like slap isolator on everything, slap compression on everything. Well, to be honest, I probably still do that now anyway, but especially with your samples, I wouldn't say so much the drums, but with your samples, you want to be getting some nice vibes on those. So get resampling and get them across multiple pads. There's quite a bit of admin involved in doing that in terms of moving things around the pads and all that kind of thing, but it is worth it, and it is the way to get a lot of character into your sound. So yeah, if you're new to this unit and you're just putting one effect on your samples, try resampling and adding multiple layers of effects and building those up to see what sort of unique sounds you can get. Okay, my next tip on this box is that the buttons do not last forever. So this is something that I've recently found out. If you've been a long time subscriber, or even if you've been a subscriber for the last couple of months, you will know that my SP was basically out of action because of the pads just disintegrating. So yeah, the pads do not last forever, especially the main ones here. They took a beating for about 3 to 4 years, and 11 went first because that was always my hi-hat button. 9 was on the way out as well because that's always my kick, and 1 because obviously I'm always using 1 every time I'm making a beat, because that is how I structure my beats on this machine. I put my kick, snare and hi-hat on these bottom 3 here, and then my samples would always start at 1, so 1, 2, 3, I'd spread them across here, and so I would always be using 1, 9, 10 and 11 pretty much for every single beat. So yeah, those buttons over time took a real beating and they disintegrated, fell apart, and they stopped working, and I had to replace them. So I think I will also make this another point as well, that getting the fat pads, which is the upgrade I've got here, is definitely worthwhile. So I did know about these for a long time, and they do feel infinitely better than the standard pads as well. So I'm not sure about how long these last compared to the standard buttons that you get with the SP. Only time will tell on that one. But if you want to see more about these fat pads and what they feel like in my review, I've got a separate video for that, so I'll put a link to that in the top right hand corner. But yeah, try and treat your pads with a bit of care. Try not to batter them day in, day out, because eventually they do go, and then you're left with a pretty pricey upgrade to get them fixed again. Because I think these pads retail at about $50, plus if you're not in America, the postage is quite steep as well. So yeah, you need to watch out for that. Okay, so this next point that I've got is kind of similar to the first one that I raised about getting drum sounds into the machine ready. And that is that transferring sounds and getting sounds onto this machine is a lot easier using the SD card rather than recording. So having the SD card available is just such a handy little piece of hardware for swapping around sounds and getting new sounds on your machine. And on top of this point as well, check out my video about using import, which is function 3. You'll be able to see it on your unit if you have a look. That is way quicker than using the wave converter, which is the software that Roland provide to put sounds on these pads. That's so slow, and the browsing feature is terrible as well. It needs a massive upgrade. But unfortunately, that's not going to get done anytime soon by the looks of it. So have a look into using import. It's a way quicker way of getting sounds onto your machine. So yeah, have a look into using your SD card more than just recording into your unit, especially if you're doing stuff from your laptop. If you are a massive purist only using vinyl, then obviously just stick to vinyl. You'll be recording straight in with that. But if you did want to back that up, for example, don't record out of your SP and into your laptop. Just get the SD card out, plug it into your laptop, and use the power of the SD card to get sounds between the two devices. It's a lot easier. Okay, so my final tip is basically going kind of against the doorless workflow a little bit, because I've been exploring Ableton a lot more over the past couple of weeks, maybe a month or so, and I've just been starting to make beats which sound really nice and fresh, and I'm really happy with them. But the beauty of the SP is it's amazing to put in at the end of the chain. So building full beats on Ableton and then running them through the SP is just such a sweet combination that I kind of wish I would have realized that from the start of having this, rather than thinking this is just a device for making beats on. I don't think that's where its strength is. I know that people make beats on these, obviously they make full beats and they can sound awesome, but I really think the power of this unit, especially if you come from a computer-based music making background, slapping this on the end of the chain and adding some grit and dirt or compression is just such a good workflow, and this really does add a lot of character to your beats just by applying an MFX over the top of it. So if you are someone that prefers that workflow, this unit can still work for you. It doesn't have to be a full beat making machine for you. You can just have it lying on your desk. You finish a track in Ableton, you bounce it through this, or you record into it with an MFX on it at the same time, and you'll get some really, really nice textures and tones on it. So yeah, I think that's a really good way to look at the SP, because I think a lot of people look at this and think it's a device for making doorless beats and making full beats, when really it is a glorified sampler. And that's not me taking anything away from the SP. Like, I love this device, but it is a sampler that's essentially kind of been hacked into being able to make beats with it. I mean, it does have the pattern sequencer on it, obviously, so it kind of has got an arm of it which is aimed at making full beats, but it's a bit wonky and it's not perfect. So yeah, if you're an MPC head or someone that's using classic hip hop gear or using a DAW and you're getting the sound that you want out of that, this can still be a very useful box, because you can get those MFX on it and really like sweeten up the beats or make them sound a little bit more crispy. So yeah, that's my 5 tips, guys. I wish I'd have known those 5 things from the day I got this unit. I'll just quickly run through them again. Get drums preloaded into this if you're wanting to use this as a beat making machine. It makes your life way easier. Resample your samples over and over again to get more unique sounds. You're not going to be able to get unique sounds just using one effects on all your beats. The buttons don't last forever, so take care of them. Mine fell apart and disintegrated, and it will be expensive for you guys to upgrade these. It'll be about $50, and if you're outside of the States, the shipping is quite expensive as well, so watch out for that. And yeah, the best way to get data to and from your laptop and this machine is using the SD card. Don't try and be recording in and out of Ableton all the time, or whatever DAW it is that you use. Just get the SD card out, pop it in your laptop and get the files off there. Or if you haven't got an SD card reader, just get a little reader that you can plug into your USB port. It makes life way, way easier. So yeah, if you've just picked up an SP, I hope those tips are useful for you. I'm sure that'll get you off to an even better start, along with all my other videos that are available. I'll be dropping those discount codes very soon for the shop, probably tomorrow, definitely before the end of the week, so look out for them if you're looking to cop a beat pack or any merch or anything like that. And yeah, just quickly again, if you can look at the membership, if that's something that you would be interested in, I would really appreciate it. Thank you to all those of you that have signed up already. Really helps me out a lot, and it's really cool to see that some of you are interested in supporting me in that way. And that's it for this one really, guys. Just stay safe over lockdown, try and do as much as you can, and hopefully we'll be out of this in a month. And to everyone else out there, just take care, keep making beats, and I will be back very soon with more content. Peace!